What's up, plebs? I am down in Miami. Finally made it. Made it all the way down here. So got day one in, and it was a whole lot of travel. And a funny story. So I thought I'd share that while I sit here in the hotel room waiting for Luke to come in. He was on one hell of a late flight. So he's still getting in here, but yeah, this is brought to you by Bitbox and Movies Plus, and that's if you don't know what those are, just look them up. Uh, just look them up, you'll find them. Just Google it. Um, find it on Google. Yeah, but anyway, so absolutely crazy day today. Um, and first off, I gotta say I'm a little concerned. This is the first Bitcoin conference I'm going to. And I thought it was going to be a lot more Bitcoin focused, but I'm getting a little nervous while I was traveling. All the stuff I was seeing online seemed to be a lot of crypto stuff bleeding its way into the conference. So, I mean, I guess you got to sell tickets or whatever, but I don't know. I just, the more on that later. I'll get back to that. But yeah, so my day started this morning. It was about like 15 minutes before I was going to leave to go to the airport. All of a sudden, I got a text message that said that my flight was canceled. So it was great timing, and of course, it was with Spirit Airlines. Oh, why'd you do Spirit? Why'd you do Spirit? It's so cheap. I know it's cheap, but it was the only direct flight I could get, and I'd rather have a shitty direct flight than a more cozy and comfy and pampered connecting flight. So I went with that. It's out of like the smaller airport, not out of our like international airport. So there's like no parking fee and like no security. It's just a handful of people going. Like it's not that big of an airport. So I was like, oh, this will be nice, direct flight. And anyways, um, so I end up getting that text message, and so I call Spirit. And I'm like, "WTF?" I mean, seriously, they canceled right before. And I said to them over the phone, I said, are you canceling this because you don't want to pay for or you didn't sell enough tickets to, justify the fuel expense with the price of fuel going up and, God knows how much it costs. It's like $500 a barrel to get oil right now. But they said it was administrative or no, operational for operational reasons. So I would venture to guess that they will never be a sponsor of this show. So I can just go ahead and recommend that nobody ever use Spirit Airlines because apparently, even if you think you're getting a good deal, if it is not full enough, they will just flat out cancel it. And it was funny. I was on the phone with them. I said, so it's today, Wednesday the 6th. I mean, the conference technically already started today, but like the main days are the 7th and 8th. And so they said, oh, we can book you on another flight. It leaves either Friday or Saturday, which would be the 8th or 9th. I was like, I'm going down to something specifically. I mean, like that ever is going to work. Most people are like, oh, what the hell? Yeah, I'll go like 4 days later. So anyways, they gave me a refund, all that jazz. Now, at the same time, I am looking up flights to get down there and, just scrambling to find something. So I had to get connecting flights and all that mess. And then while I'm doing that, the hotel that Luke and I booked, I had noticed, like, I mean, it seemed like an okay hotel. It wasn't like the nicest thing in the world, but I just wanted to book it. It was like a block and a half from the venue. So I thought that would be really, convenient to just walk that far, or not have to walk far. So anyway, so I, uh, I reached out to the hotel trying to get information, like, do you have a safe in the room? And, this is not this and that, I'm getting in later. So can I check in later? Is that fine? Blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that they did not they never replied. Like I called their phone number and their voicemail, they just had a voicemail. There was no option to talk to somebody at the front desk. and it said either email us or text us, and they gave the number in the email. So I contacted both of them. Anyways, long story short, finally today, and I'm kind of getting like nervous because I'm like, what am I showing up to? I have no idea what I'm going to walk into. Um, and hotels.com is like, I contacted them and they're like, well, let us try. And they reach out to the numbers like, whoa, yeah. It's like it's a voicemail that says like you can only get in touch with us through these two channels. So, anyways, that got canceled, and all of a sudden it was like a scramble to find another hotel that would have an availability. Which, if you didn't know, it's pretty packed down here with I don't know 40,000 Bitcoiners, and I think that's even like Pride Week or something down here. I heard somebody say. So I mean, like the hotels are just booked, and so it took a while. So I'm like on the oh, and my flight uh that I was able to book, it was like my wife's like, okay, what did you book? And or when do you have to leave? I said, literally right now. And thankfully I had most of the stuff packed, but I had like 20 minutes of packing to finish. Um, it's just the last little bit of stuff. And so I, do that, but then I just hate being rushed because I'm like a OCD, like triple, quadruple checker, so like, check it again, check it again, check it again, especially on a trip because, nothing worse than whenever you get somewhere and you're like, oh crap, I don't have that. So, checked a bunch of things, but I couldn't do it, my due diligence. So, God willing, I haven't completely unpacked, but I think I have everything I need here. Um, and so then, uh, so then I get in the car and take off, flying to the airport as fast as I can, because I mean I'm literally the GPS is telling me I'm going to get there just before boarding. So I try and time travel. It's what me and my wife always joke and say that we got to time travel a little bit, which AKA beat the ETA on the GPS. Um, and while I'm doing that, I'm also on the phone with hotels.com for the entire ride out to the airport. They're giving me options. They're saying this hotel, and like, I mean, it's really hard to like. I'm a, I mean, we all are Googlers, so like, we like to sit there and Google things and look at it and look. Okay, yeah, it looks nice. Um, so like trying to do that while I'm driving and I'm on the highway. So I'm like, I can't. I told the lady, I said, I can't pull over right now and look. She said, oh, could you just pull over and look at? Like, I'm not pulling off, the emergency shoulder like to look at this hotel. So going back and forth, and she's reading reviews and everything, and so we got it booked. Everything's good, and it's a really nice hotel. It's actually better than where we were going to be staying. So get to the hotel or get to the airport, and I get to the airport. Mind you, I was supposed to be flying out of another airport at a different time with a different airline, and so I park at Pittsburgh International Airport. And I mean, when I parked, I think I parked in the parking lot, the extended parking lot, and I think the flight was boarding in 10 minutes. So I just like took off running. So I was that psycho crazy person just flying through the airport, going on the people movers and just basically running full speed. And then you get to TSA, which was always like such a cluster. And at TSA, they have, like the first class priority, people, whatever, they get to skip the whole TSA line. And I just walked right up. I was like, I got to get on the plane in like 5 minutes. Um, I think they were just so flustered. I think it just threw them off so much to like, I mean, I just like burst in like, bah! Like I need to get on here. So I think that kind of played it. The guy didn't even know what to do. He was like, oh, okay, and he like scanned it and let me through. And then I got to do the whole thing, and then I kind of I used to travel like probably 5 to 6 times a year. Was doing some kind of traveling for work pre-COVID. Um, and I haven't done any since then. And so I kind of like forgot the routine a little bit. I had a routine. I always wore Crocs, and socks, which is I just tell my wife it's my fashion statement. It's I'm going to start a trend one of these days. So I'm gonna wear I've been wearing them like that for not all the time, but like I don't know, 12 years. Um and for 12 years I've been telling her that it's gonna catch on. And when it catches on, just look out. Everybody's gonna love it and they're gonna say that I was the one that started it. So, anyways, but I know Crocs and socks at the airport is very useful because you don't have to untie your shoes, you don't have to, do anything crazy. And then your feet don't get dirty on the, airport ground that's disgusting and gross. And then they're putting my bag through and they go, "Do you have any liquids?" And I mean, this is really kind of embarrassing, but honestly, like my wife does a lot of my packing. Um, so she knows like the ounces and everything. And I was like, "Oh my God, I have liquids in there." And they were like, started opening my bag and they were like, "Oh, it's the small stuff." So, anyways, I was good there. Um, but yeah, so I get in and literally just in the nick of time, make it. Oh, and here's another funny thing. I'm just so I tweeted a picture of this, but I'm so beyond even caring about masks, that I kind of forgot about them. I mean, I don't even know if I even have them anymore. And so I get to the airport and I get out of the car and I realize, oh crap, I need a mask. Like I literally am gonna have to wear a mask to get in the airport and do anything. Um, so I look through the car, I'm scavenging. I can't find anything. The only thing I can find is my son's mask that he would wear to school back whenever that tyrannical rule was in place where kids had to wear face coverings and all that kind of stuff for something that they don't get sick over. But they so it was this one that has like dinosaur prints on it, and that's adorable and fun. But the funny part is that like it covered like my mouth and just my nose. Like it was literally the smallest face mask by far that I saw any adult wearing. So I don't know if I got a lot of looks, but whatever, I'm rocking it. Um, so yeah, just absolutely crazy. And then ended up going to the airport in DC. That's where I changed planes, went to the hotel bar, and that's oh, hold on. Before we get to that, let's do the ad read for Bitbox O2. Bitbox is our new sponsor. Go to shiftcrypto.ch/Bitcoin made simple. And you can use the promo code Bitcoin made simple to get 5% off of your products. The Bitbox wallet. Okay, so full disclosure, I think I said this last time, but I was actually kind of nervous. And anytime I put something on a hardware wallet, I did it and I said it and I forget it. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do that again because it's really nerve wracking to send it over like on chain. Like as I think Princey said whenever I was talking to him the one time, he said it's a hair raising moment. The hair on your arms goes up whenever you send that money and you're like, God, I hope it shows up in the wallet. But anyways, so the Bitbox, it is so simple. The app is great, and it's easy to use, and it's made in Switzerland, and it's open source, so it's all good. But I mean, like they have this touch screen that's just so user friendly, and it's like the size of a thumb drive too. And then they also have the steel plate and some other fun stuff that you can check out on their store. So go to shiftcrypto.ch/ Bitcoin made simple. And trust me, it is the easiest wallet you could use. And I love it. So thank you for sponsoring the show, Bitbox O2, as I delay and go to another screen. Um, and actually, Luke is blowing me up right now. I hope he doesn't isn't lost. Oh, he's good. He's a good friend. He's asking if I need anything from the store. Um, so anyway, I do not at the moment, Luke. Thank you. maybe water. This is really thrilling uh, because to text on a podcast. But anyways, give you guys the live up to date. So where was I? Okay, so a couple of things before, just so you know where I'm going. So I'm gonna have a couple funny things about the rest of the trip. Funny, boring, I don't know, whatever. You guys tell me. And then just want to give you my thoughts on the shitcoinery that I see going on here at the conference, and whatever is going on there. But I go to the the airport bar to just kill time. And I'm killing time, and I spent like probably. I mean, I was there for. I had a long layover in DC, so I think I was there for like 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. And I honestly probably spent the first hour just sitting there, like enjoying the quiet. Because if you're a parent, you get it. No, and, I mean, don't you? I cry every time I leave my kids for like any period of time. It's just who I am, and but it doesn't take too long. I mean, the hard part is the saying goodbye and see you in a couple days and the hugs and all that, and you're just gonna miss them. But then you kind of get on the open road and you're like, could just blare like "Life is a highway," put down the top, let your hair down, and just enjoy yourself a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, I sat there in like silence for like an hour. I don't even know what I looked at, just letting my brain not think about work, not think about anything. Um, and I consumed a beer, and then it was the second beer that I consumed that I think got me got me lubed up enough, got me loose enough to I swear to God, I thought I was gonna start turning into like Jesus, like proclaiming, like preaching to the people on the hills, thousands of people on the hillside. Because I started off talking to the one guy next to me. He was a nice guy, just said, "Hey, how you doing?" We were talking. He asked where I was going. I told him, and he was into that, and he ended up he was a pretty libertarian guy. And so then next thing you know, other people were paying attention, and they're like, and I'm like, I just start going on my rant about like how they are manipulating the money supply and how they're just blah blah blah. And I mean, it's just, oh God, you gotta be careful once you get rolling. And if you have a beer in your hand, if you're a Bitcoiner and you got a beer in your hand, and you're on, not it's not your first one, you can start just going. And so yeah, I was just going to town. And then I ended up getting to do a cool thing. So whenever I was checking out, or cashing out, whatever, paying my tab, um, I told the because the one guy was saying that Bitcoin couldn't scale. Because at this point, I mean, literally at this point, I had like the guy that was sitting next to me, and then like two other people on each side were like kind of paying attention, and that's when I was like holding a sermon, and just kind of giving my smooth brain talking points on Bitcoin. But then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this thing that I've done before with people. And because the one guy said it can't scale, it's the transactions are too slow, blah blah blah. He's heard that junk from everybody. And I said, I'm going to show you how that's not true right now. And the waitress was running my card, and I had already put the tip down, but I said to her, I said, do you want to tip in Bitcoin? And she said, I've heard of Bitcoin, like, but I mean, yeah, if you want to. I said, do you have your phone? Go download. I had her download a Lightning wallet, and she downloaded it in like 2 seconds. And then I said, hit receive. She held her QR code up. I held mine up. Boom. Instantaneous, $2, $3, whatever it was, transferred in Bitcoin to her. And the guy, his like jaws all around me dropped. It was awesome moment as a Bitcoiner to just be like, boom, especially for the guy that was like, he wasn't being a jerk about saying like, oh yeah, the scales, but he was just, it won't scale. But he was just saying, he's like, I think that, the transaction thing, that's what's going to make it take off. And that's so far away. And then I showed him, and he was like, eye open, like, oh. And he was like, did that real, like, he actually didn't believe it for a second, because he's kind of said something else. And then he goes, yeah, but it can't, you can't do transactions with it. And I was like, remember what just happened? And he was like, oh yeah, that's right. Instant. I said, yeah, instant, instant. This is real. Um, Sorry for that disgusting snort, but I've been in an airport all day, so I got a runny nose. Um, and I'm not going to edit it out because I'm exhausted and I'm waiting up just for Luke to get here so that he's not stuck on the streets of Miami, wandering all night. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I had two beers and dished out four or five orange pills, but then I knew I had to call it. It was getting close to time to board my next flight, but I was starting to get to like the, preachy, like, they don't want you to save your money. They want to take your wealth from you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to make a scene here in the Reagan airport. I'm just going to get out. Um, so yeah, so administered some orange pills, then get down to Miami, get to our hotel. It's like really nice. I'm sitting there and I'm checking in, and the guy, well, it's funny. So, and don't worry, um, I'll explain. But so I get to the front desk, and I'm just kind of like tired, been through the whole travel, everything, the whole mess. Hotel that I was being described to me over the phone. Um, as I'm driving to the airport, I'm barely going to make it to the plane in time. So I walk into the hotel, the guy at the front desk, he's like, takes my information and, starts processing the everything to get me my keys. And then I, he gives me something to sign. And so I grab this pen from like, they had a cup of pens with like their hotel name on it and stuff. And I'm just looking at the pen and it says on it hetero friendly, which I thought was like really funny because like usually like you don't hear hetero friendly, it's kind of like, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I said to the guy, I said, oh, well, that's a funny slogan, for for the hotel. And he said, you know why, right? And as he said that, I literally hear like the music that's playing in the lobby like fades into my ears, and I swear to God, I'm not kidding. It's raining men. Like I just heard like it's raining men, hallelujah, and and I was like, looked at him, and he was like, well, he's like anybody can stay here. This he's like, but traditionally it started as a gay hotel. And I was like, really? And then he pointed out to me, he's like, I mean, did you not notice? And I was like, oh. So I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't care because I'm one of my business partners and good friends is gay and married, and everybody's happy. Everybody can live their own life. Everybody can do whatever makes them happy as long as you are not harming other people. That is something that all of us Bitcoiners are for. And so I don't want anyone to take this as a bigoted view at all. It's not what it is. It's just I thought it was really kind of funny that like I'm walking in, I have no idea, and it doesn't bother me, but I'm just sitting there like, and then he like points out, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And then I said, and when Luke gets here later, make sure that he knows. Okay. Oh, Luke and I are hanging out together. But the guy, he said he was like, he's assumed that he goes, are you here for Bitcoin? I said, yeah. And he said, probably like half the hotel is here for Bitcoin. And that's when he said the other half's probably for the Pride parade or Pride, week or whatever. Um, but he said like they're, packed to the brim. Um, and then this was weird. So this was crazy. I was kind of like, I don't know. I guess the last couple of years been stuck inside, stuck at home so much that it's just you don't go. I don't know. You don't get out much. But anyways, this was bizarre. So I think I'm not like a Bitcoin personality at all, and I mean, I appreciate to the dozens of you that listen. But I mean, I am stunned that people listen. So I really appreciate all of you for listening. Um, But but yeah, I just I didn't I thought maybe while at the conference there might be like, one person that sees me and says, "Hey, like I listen to your podcast," and they'll be like, "All right, cool." Um, but uh this guy that's checking me into the hotel, he goes, "Oh, so you have an IT company, I assume." I said, "Well, no, actually, I have a streaming platform." Here we go. Here he goes. Corey talking about a streaming platform again. Um, and can't get enough. Um, and he goes, I said, "I have a streaming platform that streams like movies, like independent movies." He goes, "Oh, really? That's cool." So what's it called? And I said, "Oh, it's called Movies Plus, and like I'm just so used to, because we're still up and coming, we're still, building. So like I don't expect anything." And he goes, "Oh, really?" He's like, I know you're he's like, I'm a customer." And I was like, "What?" And I literally, the first reaction I said, I was like, "No, you're not." Like I thought maybe he's just trying to make me feel better. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, or would be one of those people that it's like, no matter what I could have said like, "Oh, I'm in to, dumping soot and coal into the ocean to poison the planet." And he would have been like, "Oh my God, so am I." Like I don't know. I could have been one of those people that just will agree with anything, kind of the Andy Bernard of the world. Um, and I said, I was like, "No, you're not." And then he was like, "Yeah, no, Movies Plus." And he like referenced a movie. And I was like one of the movies that we have. And I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, you are." Like I was kind of stunned. So then it was funny from because he was like all like excited and blown away. And he was like, "I can't believe this." He's like, "I'm gonna tell my friends I met the owner of Movies Plus." I was like, "Okay, all right, cool." Like, I was like, so I jokingly said to my wife when I was telling her the story, I said, like, so he's the one person that's watching. Oh no, Corey, stop talking about your subscribers. You've got so many. Um, but yeah, it so that thought that was funny. But anyway, so yeah, and then to get to the conference stuff, the conference craziness, the I don't know. I see like they have Serena Williams, who has literally, I think, it has been quoted as saying that she prefers Ethereum and crypto to Bitcoin. Um, and there's just a good number. I've seen a lot of people on. I think it was a lot of their fellow plebs out there that keep everybody on the straight and narrow. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. Um, and must be all those beers. Um, the all the Bitcoin plebs that help keep us on the straight and narrow and make sure nobody strays too far from the path and goes down the shitcoinery. Well, I see a lot of them on Twitter. I don't know whether they're here or watching the live stream because I saw a lot of people saying that the main stage is the only thing that's getting live streamed, and that's like full of, chicanery, whatever you want to call it. I mean, like Kevin O'Leary is here. I don't know. I guess like you have to sell tickets, but like I know Kevin O'Leary, he kind of is like, "Yeah, Bitcoin, I add a little bit to my portfolio, but like, he's crypto adjacent, like Pomp, his friend Pomp." Funny story, quick story about Kevin O'Leary. So we took a video for a social media thing that we did for our company. Our social media person did it at the Toronto International Film Festival 5 or 6 years ago. Um, and so she just took this like walking video to like post to social media later. And she was just kind of walking amongst all the people at the festival, and we posted it. And then like a day later, we realized that Kevin O'Leary was like in the video, because he's a Canadian, so I guess he was at the festival. But it's kind of funny. So anyways, but yeah, there's just shitcoinery going on, and I don't know. I mean, I'll probably spend most of the day tomorrow fraternizing with other plebs and people that I can get together with and hang out with. And I'll probably go over to the open source. I think check it out if you listening to this after the concert, Jesus, after the conference, I'm sure the videos will all be somewhere. But if you're listening to it while it's going on, I think Odell has it going on Bitcoin.tv. But the open source stage, somebody joked. They said, "Oh, good job for like good on Odell to be able to sneak in a Bitcoin only stage at the crypto conference." Um, so I don't know. It it doesn't work for me. I know. I mean, somebody when I made a comment on Twitter, somebody said, "Well, you got to be accepting of everything," and that's whenever I go back to my old stance of everybody is on their own unique path to becoming a Bitcoin maximalist. That everybody's got a journey to Bitcoin maximalism. They're just at different levels. It takes longer for some people than others, and everybody's got to go through the experience themselves. So I just I don't know. I think that's what uh is happening. They're trying to, bring in as many people as possible. I mean, it's a money-making event. Can't forget that. Um so yeah, I don't know. I mean, tomorrow will be my first day walking around the Bitcoin conference. Um so I'll report back. Luke and I will report back tomorrow evening on. I'm sure there will be some kind of announcements, and everybody's wondering what Jack Dorsey, Jesus, Jack Mallers is going to say about maybe Apple and all that kind of stuff. And then also a couple things that I'm gonna. So I want some feedback from you guys. So email the show Bitcoin Made Simple podcast at gmail.com. If you guys ever want to like have comments and have stuff that we like read and answer questions or whatever, like it could literally be about anything. The streaming platform, hockey, Australia, I don't know, whatever it is, shaving your legs for Luke. Um, it could be any of those things. But the so yeah, I wanted to throw that out there, but then also let me know. I mean, I think I'm gonna do this, and this might be stupid or this might be smart, but I think I'm gonna kind of, in a way, document how my being the CEO of a streaming platform that's trying to take on all these giants. Like I might just, I don't know, maybe once a week, like riff on just that. I know it's not Bitcoin related per se, but I mean the company is, backed by Bitcoin and holds Bitcoin on its balance sheet, and we have a lot of Bitcoin content, and we want to be a Bitcoin focused. I mean, freedom of speech maximalist. That's what we are. So if a shitcoin movie wants to come on, I can't say no because freedom of speech. And ultimately, I believe freedom of speech will lead people to the truth, and the truth is Bitcoin. So there's really no worry. That's probably why you don't see too many Ethereum documentaries because it's like, this thing is like total garbage. That's what would happen. But anyways, so I thought maybe to like just kind of talk about that because I'll tell you what, there's the ups and the downs, and it's just it's wild. Like we're close to being profitable. So if you haven't subscribed to Movies Plus, here's the plug. Go to mymoviesplus.com and you can sign up for a 30-day free trial. But yeah, we're getting there. Like we're close to being profitable. Our advertising that we're doing is working. But it's a whole new ball game of stress. Because then now the next thing is it's not just growing the customers, but like I need to grow the attention of the customers. So like the one of the metrics to be stressing about, it's not just money, but it's like how often are the people coming back and watching? How much time are they spending on the platform? All that stuff. Um, it's gonna get crazy because it's just all these things, all these data points are coming in. Um, and there's just more to it, and it's going to be messier before it's going to be harder before it gets easier. But I mean, I guess that's part of life. That's why I'm doing this, and hopefully it pays off. um so that, and then also I think I'm going to start home mining, and I'm going to document that. So maybe I'll do like a weekly mining only focused podcast where I'll just literally talk about. So, like, for anyone, this would hopefully be good for other people that are nervous about doing it, like me, and nervous about taking that step. And then, like, because if you look, there's not a lot of information. You can do calculators to see the profitability, but like, not a lot of people talking about the profitability, And I mean, it's finances, so you don't want to like ask people like, "Hey, how much money do you make?" Oh, I don't know. Thought that was a good question. Be like Dwight. I just Dwight and Michael whenever they're at David Wallace's house, and Dwight says, David, what's the square footage of this house? And Michael's like, Dwight, come on. What an insensitive question. Seriously, David, how much did you pay for this house? Yeah, you don't want to do that and biff that up. But so I guess that's why people don't talk about it. But I don't know. I'll talk about it and talk about the profitability of it and the process and like, I mean it's everything. It's plugging in this miner and going, oh crap, I need this kind of outlet compared to this outlet. And I need a 220 as opposed to a 120. What the hell's a 220? What the hell's a 120? I don't even know. Do I get enough electricity to the house even? We're potentially going to add solar to our house and that will offset some of the cost, but and then also it makes heat. So what are you going to do with that heat in the summertime coming up here? It's like I'll get insulated things and maybe pipe it out a window to the backyard. And then in the wintertime, it'll heat the house. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just going to wing it, see how it goes. And hopefully you guys will all, enjoy it and get something out of it to, hopefully start mining because that's how we're really going to secure this thing and lock this thing down, lock this Bitcoin down by, securing the network and providing that backbone. So, anyways, I'm going to run, but thanks again to Bitbox for sponsoring the podcast. Go to shiftcrypto.ch/Bitcoin made simple and get your discount there with Bitcoin made simple. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you guys next time.